first 100,000, like look at this money. I tell them all the time who's seen it coming. We really came from nothing like. I told my boy.
Alright y'all, so we're back with another video, man, and shout out to the homie Sentinel. You actually left a comment on the last video that I'm going to be responding to, and you talked about how you don't agree with what I said in the last video, and I love to see comments like this, yo. I really love to see when you all disagree with me and you actually explain why. You break down your points and you explain what you're thinking, because that's the only way we learn. That's why I love conversations. That's why I talk about what I talk about. I know certain people might get offended, but at the end of the day, this is how you grow as a person. You hear someone else's opinion and you make sense of it in your own mind. Then you fire back with what you're thinking in your mind. Then you all just feed off of each other's energy and both of you are learning. That's what conversations are all about. And it seems like nowadays people have lost the art of conversations. So I don't get it, man, but like I said, I love comments like this. I love the fact that you disagree with me and you explain why. So that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about some of your points. So if those of you who haven't seen this comment, basically what I was talking about in my last video was the fact that I don't think marksmen and mages and stuff like that should be using defensive items. Now basically what he said in this comment was that he sees it all the time where you see certain mages and stuff like using defensive items. So if an enemy happens to have a lot of physical damage, he don't see why you not equip that for maximum defense against them. So I wanted to start off by talking about this point. The reason that I wouldn't say equip that for maximum defense against them is because think about the maximum defense of a mage. The maximum defense of a mage is still not that much defense, honestly. Like you can put maximum defense on a mage and still probably smack that mage very easily. Why? Because that type of hero is not designed. They weren't created to be a defensive character, and that's why there's roles. That's why it's important that there's roles in Mobile Legends, because it's certain types of heroes just don't need certain types of things. Like if you're supposed to be bursting people down as a mage, I want, like, let's say, and one point that you made was, what if you take off an item that you don't need late game, like boots? Okay, what if you take off boots late game because you don't need the item no more? Would you want your mage, who's already destroying people because they do a lot of damage, would you want that mage to get even more damage and destroy the enemy team faster? Or would you want the mage to be in a position where they're trying to defend themselves when they could be blasting everybody with even more damage? So it comes down to what you want from your mage. Me personally, I don't want to see my mage out here trying to defend itself. That's what a good tank is for. That's what a good fighter is for. Anybody who tries to get close up on your back line, a tank and a fighter, they should be like, when you have a hero like Ruby. And I also saw a comment earlier, somebody said they don't like when I talk about Ruby because Ruby's not that good. You are absolutely insane, my guy. Ruby is amazing. Ruby has always been amazing. Ruby's lifesteal, the fact that she has so much lifesteal and sustainability, just because you don't see anybody who plays Ruby well. And honestly, one thing that you need to understand about Mobile Legends is it's not always the best heroes that get the most love. It's trends. Like, it's the most popular things to do. So when people watch their favorite YouTubers and stuff, whatever they're seeing the most people do, that's what they're gonna do. And that's what I always be talking about in the Mobile Legends community. It's more copying than people actually playing and doing stuff for logical reasons. So it's like a comment I heard Ninja say in the Fortnite community. He was talking about all the people he come across that just builds. They build in Fortnite. If you don't know, you build in Fortnite and everything, and that's really the aspects of the game. It's like chess, but a lot of the Fortnite players, they don't see it like chess. They just build, they do something because they saw Ninja do it, and that's what he was talking about. He was like, you don't just do that. It's like chess. It's a move. Don't build for no reason. Don't waste your material. You see this person build something that's going to put him at the advantage. You build something else to put you back at the advantage. No more, no less. And that's how you got to look at it. In Mobile Legends, when you come across a certain hero, you see the other team pick a Fanny. That's going to give them the advantage. So what you want to do is you want to make the next move, so that gives your team the advantage. When you see somebody pick a Fanny, what move can you make that's going to give your team the advantage? You pick Saber. You pick Saber. Now you have somebody who can shut down Fanny and who is a really good, consistent assassin. So I think that when you're looking at certain things, you really have to consider the community. So don't just judge how good a hero is and how effective a hero is off of what everyone's doing, the popular opinion and stuff like that. You haven't seen a good Ruby because people don't play Ruby because people don't think for themselves. People don't think like chess, and a lot of people now in this meta don't even play for sustainability. You don't see a bunch of people just playing for sustainability. Everyone wants to go for Gaijin, everyone wants to go for Fanny, Kagura, Cyclops. They want to go for a bunch of kills. They want to go for a bunch of kills early game. All you have to do as a team to set yourself apart in this current meta is go for a team that's sustainable. If you actually started using Hylos, Ruby, use Leslie, like if you use a team comp like that that's meant for sustainability, then you will be able to force the game to go into late game if you all are good players, and that's going to completely change everything. So I just wanted to talk about that for a second, because I think that is very important that you do more than just assume because you see a hero's not being used that they're a bad hero, and really see for yourself. You have to open your eyes for yourself and notice that certain things are just not popular in Mobile Legends because the community is in a place where it's not thinking for itself. The community has to come out and think for itself. Like, that's the only way. That's why I put so much emphasis on thinking for yourself on this channel, because it's like it's so easy to predict what Mobile Legends players are going to do. That's why the game isn't really taken too serious by a lot of people, and all the most competitive people, they quit because it's super easy to predict what a Mobile Legends player is going to do. And when you have a team, that's honestly not even really fun to go against. Like, some of the best players in the world, like some people who are on the top of the leaderboards who you don't see there no more, they have quit Mobile Legends to go find something more competitive. So I get why you would think that Ruby was like low key and not really that strong, but keep your eyes open, man. Keep your eyes open and realize that certain heroes just don't get playing time because it's not cool to get playing time, honestly. But to get back to the point of the video, which was the using damage items versus using defensive items, basically what he was talking about is how marksmen, they sit on the back line anyway, so he don't see the problem with basically sacrificing like boots or something and just throwing on that defensive item. Now, if you throw on that defensive item, would you rather have your backline hero who's not supposed to be taking damage, who's only supposed to be getting defended by the front line? Like, they should never make it to the back line at all. And if someone makes it to the back line, do you really think that item is going to stop them from killing a squishy? No. So I would rather have my backline heroes have more damage so they can get the most damage out while they're alive. Like, that's what's important. That's what's important for a marksman character's role. They're supposed to be dishing out as much damage as possible. Their role by definition is to damage, attack, damage, and carry. Nowhere in that do you see defend. Nowhere in that do you see self-sustainability. You don't see any of that. Their one job is to attack, damage, and carry. So basically what you have to understand when you're using a marksman hero, or when there's a marksman hero, is that it really requires the rest of your team to really be doing their jobs. The problem is, the more popular Mobile Legends gets, the less you have people actually educating the community on what people are actually supposed to be doing. That's all the stuff that I've been talking about for the longest. I've been talking about the fact that people just really don't know, and they don't know what they don't know. They don't understand how to actually play Mobile Legends. It's more of a casual thing. So when it comes down to saying you see a lot of people who don't really do it that way and it actually works, that's just because it's Mobile Legends, man. It's really just because it's Mobile Legends and the community is casual anyway. But when you really think about the game the way it's supposed to be played, how every MOBA, because every MOBA is the same in this way, and that's why I feel like it's important for people to play other games as well. Because the thing is, it doesn't, like, if you don't know this, that a lot of the top players who are at the top in this community right now, a lot of them started on League of Legends. The reason that you can be a good player in League of Legends, well, a lot of them, honestly, they were not that good players in League of Legends. Then they come to Mobile Legends and they're just gods. And that's because Mobile Legends is a lot easier when you understand the fundamentals. Like, people think that Mobile Legends is just somehow exempt from the regular rules of a MOBA. No, it's not. If you understand the regular rules of any MOBA, you will dominate Mobile Legends, unless you're a solo player, because literally you just cannot play all 5 roles, and you can't decide who's on your team. You can't decide when you lag. There's so many factors out of your control. But if you understand how to play a MOBA, you have an advantage. So basically, I would rather my back line be able to dish out a bunch of damage and do their job. I want them to be able to defend themselves. Well, not defend themselves. I want them to be able to attack, and I want the tanks in front of them, the tanks or the fighters to be able to defend themselves. And I'm not going to hold you all up for too much longer, but then you also commented, you said you've been seeing the shift in the meta for a while now, and you don't think that the game is no longer specifically tied to roles and how they should work, because we've seen a lot of changes in the past few seasons where people have more than one tank or no ADC, and fighters evolving into semi-tanks and stuff like that. Now, this was a very good point that you brought up, and I actually like this point. But this also goes back to what I was talking about in the beginning. This was mainly due to trends. Because there's always been good sustainable heroes. ADC would have always worked. The reason that we're in an early game meta is because everyone chooses to play early game heroes. You don't have people who want to play supports. You don't have people who want to play tanks. And even when you have those people who do want to play tanks and want to play certain heroes, they feel like it doesn't work because maybe they're just not that good at playing the role. That's what I see most of the time. When I see tank players and stuff who only like to play tanks, a lot of times they're just really not that good. They don't make the right decisions at the right time, and decision making is huge. You have to know when to engage, when it's not worth engaging. Like the tank, it's really hard to be a tank. People think that you can just grab a tank and take a lot of damage. No, just like the people who think that you can just grab an ADC and sit on the back line firing shots. No, it takes a lot more than that. It's very important who you target, when you target, taking out the most deadly targets first. It's a lot more to these roles than the Mobile Legends communities understands. And that's why you see certain things like, think about the roles that's being played right now. You have a lot of mages and you have a lot of assassins. That's who everyone wants to play. Why is that? With an assassin, in Mobile Legends, I'm not going to say for all MOBAs, because the thing about Mobile Legends is their assassins are abnormally freaking strong. So in Mobile Legends, you grab an assassin, you just go around and kill everybody. It don't take any thinking, it doesn't take any chess. The thing about MOBAs is it's meant to be chess. But the thing is, Mobile Legends is checkers. It's literally checkers. Everybody grab a hero and they just try to attack. Or they grab a hero and they just try to take damage if they're a tank. They just try to take damage and get slapped. And they think that that's the way that it's supposed to be played. It's a lot more complex than that. So it's not the fact that ADC have ever been going downhill, or tanks are dying, or fighters are becoming tanks, or anything like that. It's just the way the Mobile Legends community are choosing to play these heroes and not really learning the information that needs to be learned, because the information isn't being spread. The fact that people literally use tanks, they feel like they're a good tank player, but in reality, they're really not. And how can they learn that they're not if no one in the community wants to play it? You look at the most viewed videos in the community. Look at what all people are watching. Go to the tank videos and notice how they're the least viewed videos on everyone's channel. Go to any Mobile Legends channel, look at a video they've done about a tank, and it's going to be the least viewed videos on their channel. So when you take that all into consideration, it's easy to understand why it seems like the meta is moving away from sustainability and long team fights and stuff like that. It's just that a lot of people, the people who want to play those roles, they don't know how to, and it's just not popular to know how to do that. But honestly, that's pretty much it, man. Those are all the points that I want to touch on. These was just some of my thoughts. This is the thing that's going on with the Mobile Legends community right now, man. This is the struggle, and this is the point where we're at the point in Mobile Legends where we really have to understand what we want Mobile Legends to be. Do we want it to just continue to be this fun thing that's not really a MOBA? Because that's killing the game. It's making so many people quit Mobile Legends, and it's kind of going downhill from that. Or do we want Mobile Legends to turn into what it should be, and that's really truly competitive? Because if you're saying roles don't matter in a MOBA, it's no longer a MOBA. Like, what are we playing right now? like what are we doing? This might as well just be a boxing game or something if the roles don't matter, because that's what makes a MOBA. So I think that the community is definitely moving away from looking at Mobile Legends how it should be looked at, and that this has to be reversed. This has to be reversed, or it's going to continue to go downhill. So yeah, this is a change that I want to see come. I want to see the shift in the minds of the Mobile Legends community. But let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. I'd love to hear some of your thoughts on the topic. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Mobile Legends discussions and other games and all that good stuff. And I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, fam. Peace out, yo.
I'm on it. Can't fail for my family. I want it. So they'll never